Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to the session. This is going to be a very, you can say, chit chat kind of a session, a very, light tone. Obviously, I am designing this for a very specific reason. A student of mine, and when I say student, I don't mean a paid student, of course, a student who is, from my Telegram community, texted me the other day and said, Ki, sir, even after preparing for 3-4 months, when I took my first SIMCAT, I was not able to score well, and actually I tanked the section. So the DILR section I tanked completely, and I just cannot understand what to do moving forward. What is it that I should be doing? Because suddenly the books that I have been solving, and suddenly all the material that I've been following, and all the so-called classes that I was doing just does not make sense. So first thing first, I thought, let's make a session on it. And because I know that I have a janta in the YouTube community as well, so why not, let's make a PowerPoint presentation kind of a session on it. So first thing first, you have to learn to embrace the failure, because this is obviously not the first time that you may have failed. So there may be upteen number of occasions where you may have failed. Maybe you failed some college tests, one way or the other. Maybe you failed at a relationship, something of that sort. So yeah, failure is there, and you have to embrace the failure. You have to embrace the failure in order to succeed. And this, through this entire slideshow presentation, I am only going to talk about that. Now, specifically, if you want me to, nail it down to this, sir, I have taken SIMCAT 1 or SIMCAT 2 for that matters, and I have tanked one of the sections, precisely, let's say DILR section. How do I embrace the failure there? So first of all, you have to understand SIMCAT 1 or 2 DILR section is designed for a very specific, janta. A janta which is seriously preparing for the last 6 months, and occasional repeater janta. And when I say repeater, that basically will have a union of all the students who may have taken the CAT last year, and people like me who keep on taking the test for time immemorial. I don't want to remember. So you would realize that SIMCAT 1 and 2 basically it boosts their confidence. The repeater का confidence boost करने का एक mechanism है. And at the same time, SIMCAT 1 or 2, when it makes sure that you fails the set, it gives you a reality check. And a reality check is something that is required if you really want to progress, because ultimately it is not the SIMCATs or the MCATs or the mock cats or the dash cat for that matter in which you are supposed to succeed or fail. It is ultimately the cat that matters. Now let me move ahead with the slide. So I have designed a pretty elaborate slide. We are going to talk about failure, and we are going to talk about why failure is often seen as a negative thing. And we'll also explore why failing is important and how it can lead to personal growth, and specifically taking CAT and aptitude prep in mind. So you will realize that the first goal is understanding the simple idea that failing is a learning opportunity. Now, see, I can go on and on and talk about this. When we fail, we have a chance to reflect on our mistakes and figure out what went wrong. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to ask yourself certain number of questions, like, why is it that I'm failing this particular test? Is it because of the timer? Is it because of the familiarity with the test, that I am not very familiar with this type of test taking? Because the last time I may have taken a test that was 3 hours ka paper, in a air conditioned room with maybe 10 questions to attempt. But here I'm reading sets after set, I'm reading comprehension ka question after question. There is so much of mental torture that I'm going through, and maybe I'm going through all of that for the first time. So the first time, and that is when I would like to say that June is not very apt for mocks. The full length is not very apt with full length mock taking. And why do I say that? Now when I say that, that does not that does not mean that you will stop taking the test. So maybe you can take 2 tests. You already have taken one of the tests. Let's just make sure that you take the other test towards the end of this this month. And maybe in July, maybe you can take 3 tests. August, you can possibly increase the number by 1 more, so 4 tests. September, maybe 5 tests, and so on. October, maybe 6 tests, and November, maybe 10 tests. And that is exactly how you should be planning your failures also. Because you have to learn. If you keep on taking the mocks, you will not learn. And when I say don't take tests, mock tests, I'm not encouraging you to stop taking tests. Rather, what I'm asking you to do is, shift your focus to individual section tests that will comprise of 40 minutes. Ideally, Time has this habit that they give you 20-minute ka tests also. 20-minute ka bhi denge. Maybe, some easy sets, you can solve them less than 5 minutes also. I mean, I'm taking, obviously take it with a pinch of salt. So that is that idea that you should be looking at, that, this is the time wherein you should be taking a lot of section tests, understand an idea, maybe let's say understand time, speed and distance. I'm taking a very vague example. Or maybe let's say, understand a number of trailing zeros. Okay, you would not be able to see this. So how about I write this, number of trailing zeros. Or maybe an advanced idea of, let's say, permutation combination. This is the time when you have to learn the concepts and learn them really well and apply them through section tests or individual, I like to call them sectionals, but there are individual topic wise tests also. If you subscribe to any of the test series like, Time IMSCL, you'll get the individual topic wise tests as well. So this is something that you should be doing. Failure builds resilience. Now, obviously, you would not, you will not go full throttle if you don't fail. You have to fail. And only when you fail in your mock tests, that is when you go full throttle. Otherwise, you will be like, ठीक है, चल रहा है ना कुछ तो Pythagoras theorem तो पढ़ रहे हैं ना, Pythagorean triplets तो कर रहे हैं ना, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा ना. When you actually start failing, you will realize that, oh, these are my setbacks and I have to deal with them. I have to take those challenges. And this also helps everybody, including me, to develop the skill and mindset needed to bounce back from adversity. Now, why resilience is important is that if you take any area of life, personal or professional, no matter whether you like it or not, you will fail. So why not, let us take this as an opportunity to build our resilience. And by resilience, what do I mean? That, okay, I'm failing, but then there are certain learnings that I can get out of it. In our aptitude prep terms, or in our jargons, we call it analysis. Now, obviously, this analysis is very individualistic, differ from a person to person, and everybody has different sort of style in order to analyze a certain section. For example, I like to go overboard with VARC when I am doing my analysis, because I know inherently I'm not very good at VARC. I read, I don't read a lot of stuff these days, but there was a time when I used to read enough and more, uh, articles that you from websites that you guys may not have heard, because one way or the other we were just looking for applications or websites that, you may have heard about this website called Arts and Letters Daily. And yeah, you just read random articles on religion, article on politics, articles on philosophy, article on sociology, psychology, climate change, racism, you name it. And this is your, these are your challenge areas. You have to accept those challenge areas and you have to excel at them. Hope you understand that. Now, please understand this slide very carefully. Failure leads to innovation. Now, we all know the famous example of Thomas Alva Edison, who said that, I have failed more than 1,000 times before I actually did invented the light bulb. And somebody said, there will be people कि यार अगर फेल ही कर रहे हो तो 1000वें बार फेल करने के बाद ही अगर बल्ब बनाना था तो 500, 600, 700 बार में तो किसी ना किसी ने तो बोला होगा ना जस्ट क्विट. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट, कहावत सुनी होगी आपने, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Let them say whatever they want to say, let them do whatever they want to do, but it is your insights that will lead you to success. And what exactly is success we'll discuss ahead, but understand, when you fail you realize that this technique is not working for me. So maybe, and only maybe, me fearing the timer is not helping me. So why even bother about whether there is a timer? So right now, just now I said that if you're feared about the timer, almost always solve problems with a timer, and basically you will see 90% of your problems get solved, because most of the problems are have to do something with this timer only. So please understand what all innovations you have to make. Maybe you are not the night owl that you thought. Maybe you're not the kind of a person who thought, and it took me some time to realize that I'm specifically not a night owl. So I cannot study in, overnight. So please do those innovations and if you come to me, maybe I can design something for you, but then it is only you who can tell me what innovations will work for you. You will get new ideas, and those ideas will help you sail through the problems. Now, specifically for boys, don't get distracted by the graphic. Okay. Overcoming the fear of failure. Now, this is the most important thing. Okay, if you can just help yourself not get distracted by the graphic, you would just realize how much important this term itself is. The fear of failure. Sir, I will not take the mocks. Fuck it. Fuck it, I'm not gonna take the mocks. भैया मेरे से तो I am failing. One mock I took in June, the first week, I failed it. CAT तो निकलेगा नहीं, I am failing it. And trust me, it is going to be the biggest obstacle to embracing failure and the fear that comes with it. So basically, this fear of failure, it is more dangerous than failure itself. Failure in its entirety is not that problematic. This fear is very problematic. I've dealt with it. And I cannot emphasize how bullshit this fear is, how bullshit this is. And the only way through which you can fuck this fear of failure is by discipline. This has got nothing to do with motivation. This has got nothing to do with, okay, I'll motivate you, Betty, you can do it, we will do it together. No, all of that is bull fucking shit. The only thing that beats the fear of failure is discipline. That's it, monk mode. And keep reminding yourself, 6 months, that's it. That is it. And then you don't really need to worry about this fear of failure. Now, it is a truth that everyone fails at some point in their lives. And the key is to not let that fear hold you back. Instead, try reframing your mindset and focusing on the potential benefits of failure. Yeah, there are benefits of failures. Keep reminding yourself of that. Failure is not the opposite of success. Now, if I have to make, if there's one line that I can take away from this slide, is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the journey towards it. So there is success, the end goal, and you are there. You're struggling right now. Diametrically opposite is not, you'll not find somewhere over there failure. No, failure is somewhere in the journey. It's not opposite of success. It is towards the journey that you will fail multiple failures, and understand through those failures you will eventually learn things. You'll learn many things through failures. Failure is something that is so, it is so pious. Failure is so godly, if I have to explain it like that. But this motherfucker over there, fear, this fear of failure, this fear is crap. This fear is bullshit. You have to literally, you have to literally stop loss at the fear of failure. Just because I am fearful that I may not be able to perform at my best in my tests, because maybe I think I haven't prepared, or I saw somebody preparing a little harder than what I did, I'll just not take the tests. Now this is it. Conclusion time. Failing is important because it provides with valuable learning opportunities. We discuss about that. It helps us build resilience, build innovation, and can ultimately lead to greater success. Now that's one thing. So one other thing, start taking risks, embrace your failures. They might just be the key to unlocking your full potential. Now your full potential, you'll only know when you constantly fail. And that is very true for your test taking as well, because you thought कि सर मैं 2 घंटे में थक जा रहा हूँ, I am not able to take a 2-hour long test. I am telling you, when the CAT used to happen in 3-hour slots, if you are fortunate enough to be in a company of people like me, I would have told you कि prepare yourself not for 3 hours, back in the day. Right now it is a little bit different from that ideology, but I would have said कि prepare for a 6 hours test. Your brain should be, and that is when working in fatigued condition comes into the picture. You've seen so many people talk about, sir, I am doing my work 9 in the morning till 8 in the evening. 9 to 8 is my job. I come back, I eat, and I do whatever the fuck I want to do. And then from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. with resilience, I'm studying. Why is it important? People say, they will like to masturbate on this ideology. There are idiots who would like to do that. They will like to fap on this ideology. But why is it important? Because you need to train your brain to work in fatigued condition. This is a training. This is not learning. This is a training process. This is not learning Pythagoras theorem. Please don't learn fucking Pythagoras theorem. This is training yourself to take tests under fatigue consistently, and you will fail. Of course you will fail. The test is designed in such a way that you are supposed to fail. But when you embrace the failure, something great is going to come out of it. And let us visualize that. What is it that is going to come out of it? Your dream B school, is it FMS Delhi? I mean, at one point in time, it was mine. I would not lie. Is it IIM Calcutta? Is IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore? I want you to visualize that. I want you all to meditate on that. Think about that. And that is me, Somajit Goswami, signing out. Thank you very much. Do subscribe to our channel. Do follow us. Thank you.